Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts. Today I'm going to make a very quick journal page. At least I hope it's going to be quick because I don't have an awful lot of time. So this page here is actually a mop-up. So I think as you've watched me on many occasions before, once I've got watercolour and bits and bobs out and about, I clean it up on scrap paper. I also tend to keep colour families together, so every time I was using like pinks and oranges and yellows, they went on this, so I don't create muddy backgrounds for future use. And they're handy for times like this when you want to do a little bit of creating, but you don't have a huge amount of time. Actually, I think it needs to go that way to go in my journal, sorry about that. Okay, so I am using some collage elements from, I think it's ElenaZinskiArt. It's a downloadable collage collection. I'll show you the sheets here. There's a whole different, lots of bits and bobs like this that you can download and print out. So I decided to treat myself to some of those today, because I've kind of lost my creative mojo a little bit, so I was needing to try and kickstart it. So what do you do to kickstart your creative mojo? So yeah, I'm thinking of doing these, but actually I'm realising that I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll just do a very quick amount of stamping. So I've just grabbed a few stamps. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this, just to build up the layers on my page. So this is Distress ink Ripe Persimmon. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of build up a few different layers. So that was a Dylusion stamp. I've also got this Carabelle one, which I thought would be quite nice. Yeah, so sorry, I feel like I've been AWOL a little bit. I'm afraid that I've kind of gone a bit of a weird place creatively over the past week or so, which is not good timing when you've just started a YouTube channel 4 weeks prior. You kind of want there to be a bit more flow than that, but yeah. So I've been desperately trying to kickstart myself. I tried to come up here and work out something to make, to share with you all, and it was a complete disaster. So that didn't go particularly well. So last night my husband was like, just get into the loft and do something. So what I did was I just sat and fussy cut. Just sat and did some fussy cutting. And I ended up making a couple of cards, which were okay, but not interesting enough to kind of replicate to give to you guys here on, viewers. It was pretty basic stuff, but it was amazing how just kind of the feel of the scissors in my hand just kind of got things moving again. So I decided, why don't I treat myself. So this is a Leonie Pujol stamp by Crafter's Companion. I just thought to myself, why don't I just treat myself to a little collage sheet, do some fussy cutting. I think there's something about new stash as well that can kind of help with the kind of creative block, whatever we call it. Lost mojo, creative block, inner critic, who knows. Whatever happens to us when we kind of suddenly get to a stage where you think, oh, I can't actually make anything anymore. This is actually a tree stamp, but I like the I like the bubbles. I thought they were quite interesting, so for this purpose I thought I would use it. So I'm just going to add a few little circles on here, and then that will do for a background. As I say, it's very quick. So what do you do when you lose your crafty mojo? How do you get it back? I've been watching YouTube videos, ironically, and browsing Pinterest, lots of different things. I even got out some of my craft books. I don't have many of them, but I've got a couple of them that are just beautiful. So I was having a little look, but in the end it was just doing a bit of fussy cutting that worked. So here we are. Hopefully, hopefully by the end of it we will have something to look at and this video will not go in the bin. because it'll be another disaster. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, I've just created a quick background there. That was stamps from Carabelle, Leonie Pujol and Dylusions. And I've just used a couple of, I think it was Distress Oxide picked raspberry and spice marmalade, and then that was my black stays on, just to kind of layer up the background a little bit more than it was. And then I thought I would just, I've cut a whole load of pieces out, but I just kind of stick them down and see what happens. I really am short on time because I'm not even going to use my collage glue, because that can take quite a while to dry. So I'm just going to go with my Cosmic Shimmer because it's quick and easy. I think you all deserve a nice quick video from me after the last one. What was the last one? Over an hour long. Oopsie. But you know. Oh, that's good. I've now just put a great big fingerprint in her face. Excellent. Well, that's a good start. Oh dear. Right, I don't really like the straight line there, so what have we got? We've got some flowers. Put a wee flower on. Yeah, clean your hands as you go. There's a good tip. Just gonna, sorry if that was a really strange noise there, it's because my hand just hit the microphone. I moved it because I noticed that as I was watching the videos, you were still getting a little bit of a crackle from the camera. The microphone was picking up the camera, so I decided to move the microphone slightly to see if that would help. And so I'm not used to it being right there, and I just bashed it with my hand. So if you got a big loud pop, sorry about that. It was something else for my husband to fix in editing. I just tried to lift some of that fingerprint with a wipe. It won't really matter. By the time we've got splatters and all sorts on it, I'm sure it won't really matter, but just to kind of make her look somewhat reasonable. Let me see. Oh, I've already stuck that. Actually, I think I should have put that under. So this we're using the proper glues and not stuff that sticks forever, might have been preferable. There we go. Sorry, this is not going well so far, is it? Yes. So, I'm hoping, my creative circumstances have changed a little bit. And so I'm just kind of working with that at the minute, and I'll get used to it. And hopefully get in the flow again. I need to actually maybe commit myself to a certain amount of videos on certain days or something, because I just tend to work better to a deadline. For some reason. For some reason I've always been like that, work slightly better to a deadline. Yeah, so I'm just randomly, I have no thought process to this whatsoever. I am just randomly putting bits together. I knew that I didn't like that definite line, so hence the flowers. But that's about the sum total of the thought. Sometimes we overthink things, so we'll just play and see what happens. We can always fix it. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little bit of journal play and see what happens. It doesn't matter what happens in your journal, does it? In general, it's just for you to see. It's part of where you were at any particular time, so it's like a diary. I like that one because that's a wee corner piece. And yeah, should we go for that? Maybe put the houses up a little bit higher. Yep. Okay. Try that. I feel like I've ran out of waffle. It's unusual, isn't it? I've actually had a tummy bug the past few days. So, ugh. Not good, not good. And I'm still not eating properly. And so I think it's actually affecting my brain. Not that I had much of one to start off with. Yeah, so these are lovely little printouts from, as I said, ElenaZinskiArt. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I'm very sorry. But yeah, they're lovely little, they're quite quirky. I like quirky. I've always been a bit different. I like different things. for example, I had a red wedding dress. You know, it's like I like to be unique. Don't like to be the same as everyone else. So these are right up my street. It's like so quirky, but cute. So yeah, just kind of playing, seeing what happens. Her face is lifted up a little bit. That's because I dampened that down to try and fix the smudge on her face. Let's see, should we have a bird on the roof? Look at him flapping his wings like that. That's so cute. So cute. Right. Don't know what the girl in the houses have got in common. Don't know what kind of story. Could we make up a little story for her? Wine. Always a good solution. Let's stick that in. Quite like Prosecco myself. That's my wee tipple. Right. Oh, we're getting there. I'm getting there. I think I'll chop the stem off this. What I'd really like to do actually is when I've got a bit more time. It's just I don't have a huge amount of time, and I also knew that if I didn't record something today, it would end up being late next week before I could be able to record something properly for you, because we're just away for the weekend. So I was desperate to kind of get stuff done today, but I think given the chance, I'd quite like to actually chop up some of these images and compile them together. Let me see. Actually, what I might do, because we've got houses over here, and let's see if we can turn one of these houses into a bit of a neck, just to give it a bit of cohesion. See if that works. Sorry, I'm going quiet. It's because honestly I've not crafted in a couple of weeks, which I know doesn't sound that much, but for me that's loads. I'm just going to curve the top of that a little bit so it looks more neck-like as opposed to the straight line. Not that a house being part of your neck is remotely normal at all, but there you go. Yeah, just thought, because I've got the houses over here and she's got quite a big head. Maybe she's a giant. I don't know. Dear, now I've got fee, fi, fo, fum in my head. I'll add another little one. Yeah, I quite fancy chopping all the different bits up and just making my own quirky characters out of it. I think that's what they're designed for, aren't they? These sort of things. I'll have another one. Actually, as we do it like that, as we sort of lip in there. Yeah, it's kind of working for me. Random, but kind of working for me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so one of the advantages of mopping up, as well as saving all of your precious goodies, which is, you know, essential, I don't throw anything away, is that when you have occasions like this, when it's like, oh, I really need to create and I'd love to do this, but I don't have the time, because I really didn't have the time, the fact that, you know, part of that base is done for you just means you can just grab and put something together really quickly. I'll say that now, it'll probably end up in a really long video. I'm just looking at how long I've been recording. 14 minutes, that's not too bad for a journal page. Right, I like this heart. I don't know where do I want to put it. Was it nice peeking? But I kind of want it, I want to soften that line. That line's annoying me. It's kind of here, but I'm going to end up going over, yeah, and try that. I think that's probably more than enough elements to, yeah, do that, gives her a bit of a colour, to kind of be going with, to be honest. So what I'm going to do now is get my trusty pencil, my Inktense pencil, which I've forgotten to get out. Clever, clever. It's just here, so I don't think I need to pause the camera. So yeah, I'm just going to get my pencil out. I'll let you have a quick flash at this again. Woohoo! It's so exciting. Can't remember how many years ago my husband bought me this. I had kind of severely hinted towards liking some Inktense pencils, and I was expecting one of these little tins. I certainly wasn't expecting the whole collection in a lovely wooden presentation box, so well delighted with that. So just grab a wee paintbrush. So again, I'll not show you all of this because, you know, it will take a little bit of time, but it just helps the elements to stand out from the page if you give it a little bit of a border. So I'm just going to, I've got my Inktense pencil there and a little bit of water, and I'm just going to create a shadowing around all the different elements. Okay, so you can see that there that's made quite a difference. I've gone in quite heavy there. Normally I kind of start, I kind of go a bit more easy, but to be honest, the elements are next to a background of the same sort of colour family, so it's going to need a really definite heavy shadow in order for that to stand out. So I'll do that, and I'll show you another little bit, and then I think, as I said, I'll go off camera to finish it, because once you've seen me do a tiny bit, that's kind of, you've seen all there is to see, to be honest. Now, this, because you got the girl over the houses, like, you completely lost her, so I probably will go in really quite heavy there. And now I'm going in quite heavy with my pencil here. Normally I would, as I said, build it up lightly. That's not too bad here, but partly this has been printed off my computer, and whilst it's bright and vibrant and all of this sort of stuff, it's not going to stand up to a huge amount of abuse with water. But I really want a nice heavy shadow, so that's why I've kind of drawn that in and gone quite heavy, quite straight away, instead of, you know, building it up gradually with a lot of water, because I don't think the ink from my printer is going to like the water overly much, so I just need to be a little bit careful there. So what I will do is, as I said, I'll go off camera, finish off all that shadowing, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'm back, so hopefully you can see the difference that this shading has made. What I'd like to point out here is I haven't actually shaded around all of these various flowers, because I kind of wanted it all to be part of her headdress, but it does illustrate the difference between that part there and this part here, of why we bother going around with pencil and doing that, because it just kind of makes things stand out and lifts things a little bit. So I think we're probably almost done. I just had a little thought that some of these little bubbles I might colour in with the Jane Davenport paint over pens, because I've had these for a little while and I don't play with them overly. So I thought, let's colour in a few of these little bubbles. Why not? Okay, I'll put some up here. I love circles. I love circles and bubbles, and I don't know why. What's so appealing about a circle? You'd think once you've got one stamp with circles on it that would be enough, but no. Seem to need all the circles. What's your favourite shape? I always seem, I don't know, I like softer shapes. I like circles and ovals as opposed to rectangles. Even when I draw things that should be like rectangle, they tend to have a wavy line in them where they shouldn't be, just, you know, because you can. Okay, so I've coloured a few of those in. Where's my white Posca pen? Add some little white highlights to that. Just get this going. It's the only thing about Posca pen, you need to get it going a little bit. Right. little bits of shading in the bubbles, so they don't look quite so harsh. And then I was thinking I'll do a little bit of doodling. Not much, just a few scallops and things running down the edges. Just to, I don't know, I think it just adds a bit of extra detail, just to have a little bit of it outlined, a little bit of your own doodles. And it's absolutely stunning artwork, and it's absolutely beautiful, but sometimes it's just nice to put your own little take on it. And then what I will do, as I normally do with most of my things, is I'll just quickly frame it. This is my black Posca pen that's deciding to run out on me. Typical. Probably had too much abuse, too much drawing on random surfaces. It's given up. It's not going to do it anymore. Okay, so I don't know, I always seem to have to frame everything, no matter what it is I do. It brings the eye in. And then I have looked out my Tim Holt stickers, because there's lots of different things, and I found this one. Hope is never lost, which I know sounds a little bit dramatic, but if, well, I am dramatic, I suppose. Let's not beat around the bush. I can be a bit of a drama queen. But it's just, I don't know, when you're in that place where you're a creative person, you're a creative being, and you just can't get going. Yeah, it can be very frustrating. So I think that sentiment represents where I was. Oh no, actually I was going to put believe in your daydream, but I've just seen another one there that says believe in yourself. So hope is never lost and believe in yourself. So hopefully that'll be just, I don't know, a little reminder that in future, when that crafty mojo goes, that, you know, you can look at this piece in your journal and think, do you know what, I've been there before, got through it. Not sure this is the best journal page I've ever done, but it's something. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that process. Just a very quick journal page there, and I should be back very soon. There should be a video up much sooner than you've had to wait this time. And thank you to everybody that has subscribed. I'm really overwhelmed by the amount of you that have hit that button. But again, if you found this video, please do consider liking and subscribing and sharing it with friends so that they know I'm here. Thanks again then. Goodbye.